Let's get ready to rock. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I will be talking about the Battle of the Bands readathon in April, which I am a team captain for Team AC/DC, the best team and the team that's clearly going to win the readathon. It's just a given, you know, since I'm a part of this team. But this is being hosted by Jake, the bookish drummer, and should be a lot of fun. I've never actually done a readathon before, so I'm pretty excited, and I've definitely dug pretty deep into these prompts to figure out what I'll be reading for my team's prompts, as well as other books for other prompts. The way this works is there's only one book per prompt, and for every book you read for one of your prompts, your team gets a certain amount of points, and then you can read a book for another team's prompt to take away points for them in order to try and be the top team. So pretty excited to do this, and I've got quite a few. So we're going to talk first about the books that I have picked out to do for my team's prompts specifically. I'll plan to at least do these, get those points, and then I have a collection of other books otherwise that I will plan to fit in to take away points from other teams depending on what we have time for there. So let's jump in. All right, so first off we have Highway to Hell, a book featuring a villain's POV. For that, I am going to go with The Warrior by Stephen Ariam. This is book 2 in this duology, which is Land for Heroes? Quest for Heroes, that's what it is. I'm like, oh no, I'm drawing a blank. Quest for Heroes. I know the first book had a villain POV, and so I'm pretty positive this one will too. So I figured this would be good. Originally, it was going to be A Memory of Light, but I ended up starting that early, so I'll be done with that before April starts. Next up is Back in Black, which is a sequel or a reprinted edition of a book that has a black or mostly black cover. So this can be either Silverthorn or A Darkness at Sethanon, depending on which one I'm on. So if I read Silverthorn sooner, it'll be Darkness of Sethanon, but I figured those would be good for a one there. And then we have Thunderstruck, a book featuring an unlucky character. I figure it's a good time to finally get back to Discworld with Interesting Times, which is a Rincewind book, and Rincewind is most certainly a very unlucky character throughout his Discworld adventures. It's going with that one there. We have TNT, a book featuring a character with magical fire abilities. And so for that one, I'll be doing The Pale Kings, which is book 2 in Emaneska by Ben Galley. I'm currently reading the first book now, and so I should be ready for book 2 with that read along for this one. And then finally, the last prompt for my team is Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, and a book involving bribery or blackmail. Figure this is a good time to start the War for the Rose Throne, if I can talk, by Peter McLean, with Priest of Bones. Got mobsters, lots of stuff, lots of blackmail, I'm sure, in this book from the sound of it, so we'll be good there. Now, some other books prompts that I have for the other ones, we'll take a look at those as well. Now, for these other teams' prompts, I do not have all of them filled in, and these are also not necessarily books I'll read, but these are ones that I'm putting out there as this is the MBR category for ones that I might get to, and so we'll talk through what some of those might be as well. So first off, we do have our other teams I should mention are the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and Queen. Are those other ones, and so it's all going to be, the prompts are also themed off of song titles from those bands. So going to the Beatles first, we have Hey Jude, and it is a male character whose name is in the title. I couldn't find anything for this that I haven't read besides Nicholas Raven and the Wizard's Web. This is the first book here. Also one that I meant to get to for a bit too, so might slap this in if I have some time. And then we have Yesterday, which is a book featuring a character that is their written account or telling their story. So A Natural History of Dragons, which is a memoir by Lady Trent, seemed to fit this pretty perfectly. Another one I've been meaning to try for a while as well. And the last one I have figured out at this point is the Magical Mystery Tour, which is a fantasy book with a mystery element. And so I'm going with The King's Justice and the Augur's Gambit by Stephen R. Donaldson. This does have a story specifically that involved a man investigating murders that happened in a town. He's coming in to check that out, so grab this one here, because I've had this, which is these two novellas I've wanted to read for a while also. Oh no! No books were harmed in the making of this video, I swear. Moving on to the team Led Zeppelin. I only have a couple so far for this one right now, but we do have Over the Hills and Far Away, a book featuring the older protagonist, which right now I'm going to go with Masquerade by Terry Pratchett. This is the next one after Interesting Times that I'll be on, and our witches, we have at least a couple of them which are older, and I just love the witches, so it'd be fun to get to that as well. 2 Discworld books in a month, definitely not a bad thing, honestly. And then we have... let's see what our other one is. Trampled Underfoot, which is a lesser-known book by a popular author. I figured that would be a really good excuse to get to The Willful Child by Stephen Erickson. Yes, that's Stephen Erickson. I have a copy of this, and it is his, I think, like, satire on Star Trek that he wrote prior to Malazan. So I figured this was a good opportunity to try that one as well, because I have no idea when I will otherwise. Then getting on to the Queen team. And so with Queen, we have We Will Rock You / We Are the Champions, and that's a book featuring an already accomplished or successful character. So that's where I grabbed Wistful Ascending by J.C.M. Byrne, because we have our main character here who's kind of like a retired superhero, basically, so already pretty accomplished. Works out nice there. We have another one, Bites the Dust, which is a book that features a serial killer or multiple murders. So this one I went with We Men of Ash and Shadow by H.L. Tinsley. So I know we're working with some people who are killers, so that would probably fit here really well. And then we have Under Pressure, a book you've been pressured to read. This is highly unlikely, but we'll see. Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. Yes, I still have a copy of this. I've said I'll read it someday, and I've been putting it off for a long time. So maybe this will be the one. Who knows? And then finally, Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Read a book by an author that you love. And so I decided this is where I'll put Waylander 2, or In the Realm of the Wolf by David Gemmell, which is my next book up in the Draenei Saga, and David Gemmell is definitely an author that I love. So then finally, I have a couple of books, so I don't know where they'd fit quite yet. But I have Road Brothers by Mark Lawrence and Sharp Ends by Joe Abercrombie. Both are short story collections. Should be great for this particular readathon. Just have to figure out where they would go. And then I'll be reading by that time the 5th book in Runelord's Sons of the Oak. It's also one I'm not entirely sure what prompt this will fit here yet, but I'm going to be reading it regardless, so hopefully it'll fit something and I'll be able to slot it in somewhere. So it's kind of what's going on there. So that's everything going on in April. I will have links out to the announcement video for this readathon on Jake's channel as well, so that you can check that out if you do want to jump in. This should be a heck of a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, so definitely check out if you want to jump in. Whether you're joining my team, the best team, or not, it'll still be fun to have you, so definitely make sure to check that out. That's it for this one, though. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description, as always, for the Wizardly Duo Discord if you want to chat books, whether any of these books, other books, really anything at all. It is a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you. And, of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.